Right, I like to try and capture things in the moment. Some guy was telling me off the other day, well, everyone should go to a pro player to learn to put their mouth around a harmonica. I don't agree with that. Yes, great. If you got the money, right, if you can afford it, a great harmonica teacher is the most preferred standard to be under. Sure. Yeah, definitely. But failing that, you got to do your best, right? And I'm currently, I've been given scholarships in Tomlin's harmonica school. It's awesome. But from day one, the minute I got a harmonica and I joined a Facebook group, there was the opportunity to find mentors, buddies, and I because I strongly advocate that in my life. Mentor, buddy. When I was a recovering addict, I had a sponsor. In church, I'm being discipled by Christians who might be more mature, more older, they're more further on the path, right? But what I do, right? If you disagree with this, then move on. But what I've done over the last 5 years is when I'm wrestling with something, or maybe I'm wrestling, but wow, I've just managed to do it. I will record that process, right? And there has been some negative comments. Of course there has. Of course there has. Mostly by people who ain't got no content on their YouTube channels, and mostly by people, once I respond to them and say, well, what about this and that? Have you thought about this and that? They then don't respond. So what's with that? Anyway, that's up to them. But then there's other people who have gone, do you know what? That's helpful. Just that processing. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm special and different, but I got ADHD. I might have a different style of learning. And you might be a bit like me. And so I'm just sharing the process. Sorry, what am I sharing here? Blow bending, tongue block. I just YouTubed it then. Bending. Yes, there's a lot of videos on tongue blocking. There's a number of videos bending, tongue blocking. People speak about it and people might try and show you. But I didn't see, out of more than 10 videos, there wasn't one on blow bending. So here you go. Right, what am I doing? Right, I've just made a video. Major scale, holes 7 to 10. Get a bending app, go and look at it. Major scale, C, D, E. Yeah, this isn't in the right order when I do this. Major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Yeah. And so the A is 10 draw. The B is the half step blow bend, and the C is unbent blow. Yeah. But in the midst of that, I was just then, and this actually, right? Although I say these ain't great for beginners because they're quite airy sometimes. That's my experience. I talk a lot about Hona Special 20s for beginners. But do you know what? I grabbed this and I've just been able to. It's not like, whoa, I've just been able to. It's magic. Sort of the harmonica's done it all for me. Go and buy one. No, I'm not saying that. I've just been doing the same sort of work you've got to do on any bend, which is try, test, feel, experiment, move stuff. I'm talking now instead of showing you. But and then I went, whoa, I got that. I've done a whole 8 before. I've done some a whole 9 before, but this is the first time actually where also there's been practical application with the 10 draw, 10 blow bend straight off, blow bend half step, not the whole. On the 10, you've got blow, half step, whole step. Right, let me sit up straight. I'm looking at the bending app now. C, 10 blow. Because I'm ending back. On the major scale, you're ending back on the C. What I'm doing there is, you know that thing where when you started bending, someone went, start on a whole 4 draw, and you go, which I believe is actually quite difficult for a beginner to do. I think it's easier for a harmonica teacher to show you to do it once they've been playing for so long, because they have gained this control. So if you're discouraged by people by trying that and you was unable to do it, then I don't blame you from feeling that discouragement. Sometimes people, they've moved on, they're playing, they're really good, and they might not really have been like, I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm just saying they might have moved on a little bit, and they're sort of showing you a bit of everything. Try this and try that. That's my opinion of that. That this is, I've only just see, that's why I don't like these harmonicas. I've only just really been able to do that in recent months or years. Yeah, so blow bend, tongue blocking. Right, what am I doing there? It's almost a pucker. I'm really sort of like focusing everything there, I believe, because it's all down to interpretation, how I'm interpreting what I'm doing. Sometimes I've noticed with bending, it feels like the tongue is going up, but really it's going down. But then other times I've sort of intentionally tried to move the tongue up and it's gone down. And I'm thinking, what is it doing? But maybe it's not actually doing what I think it's doing. Maybe it's just doing what it's doing. So, like anything else, breathe in, get your belly, fill your belly up, not your chest. Also, something that's been going on here the last couple of minutes is I'm filling. Yeah, make sure the draw note is working and it's not blocked up with spit, because if the draw note, the reed is stuck, then it's going to be hard to blow bend. Because if it's like the other one, when you're blowing a note, but when you blow bend, you start to move the draw reed. I don't know how that works really. See, I'm going there between the B and the B flat, B flat. If you look at my embouchure, and you might go, well, if it's a bit like puckering, why don't you just pucker it? Well, I might do one day, but if I'm going, that was all tongue blocking, see? So it's not a vice versa. It's not a versus versa. One's better than the other or anything like that. It's just that's what I've been doing for 5 years, tongue blocking. And your mouth's already in that position. So I've just done it. I just blow bent whole 10. Like that's some bad playing. If that was in a song, then no one's going to want anything to do with that. But I was just showing you going up and down and then doing. Just in case you only just found this video, right? What I was doing just then earlier was major scale, blow 7, beginning with C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So it's A, B, C. Yeah, the C is still blow 10. Yeah, I'm doing it slowly. It's not musical in that context because I'm going. I'm on pause when. But in the context. See, A's blocked up. Yeah. Embouchure, what am I doing? Can you see what's happening here? If you've got a modern Android phone, I don't know about Apple, you can actually zoom in on YouTube videos. Not that I want you to do that to me, really, but that's what I do with some video. There's a video. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name now. He's got a bald head, really good. Talks about bending. Anyway, that's how I got onto draw bending. Right, his name might come to me in a minute. He's a really good harmonica player. Was he talked about being a puckerer, and you're this being like the powerhouse in a sense, this being a bit of the powerhouse and the tongue doing this. And then, but then when you transition, Lee Sankey, when you transition to becoming a tongue blocker, you then apply your tongue to the harmonica. Now your tongue is still. So now focus your energy on the back of your tongue and your throat. Right. Well, I'm guessing almost, and it's a guess. It's a what am I doing? Watch, feel, listen, and adjust. Right. I'm guessing now what's happening because when I yeah, there is some. The main effort is here, and this follows. In a sense, the tongue goes down, so the jaw might go down a little bit on the whole one. But here, now it's almost like the energy is more here, and I'm not dropping my jaw purposely. I remember when I first started tongue block blow bending. But I'm not saying, well, I'm like a legend now. I'm like an old man in it now. I'm simply sort of saying, the first time I tried it, you kind of started to feel these air bubbles going on, and that's a whole step. And see, I've mentioned this. This might be helpful information for someone who's new to bending. I've spoken to people who said they found this easier to bend on than they did a Hona Special 20. Now, the Hona Special 20, right, is responsive, so therefore sensitive. So let's say this is the sort of like your bending range, whether it's your tongue or whether it's the reed doing stuff. Quite often as beginners, what happens is we go, oh, it's gone. When the bend is here, for instance, yeah, it's here. But because we're quite clumsy, we go from 1 to 10. Oh, what's happened? It's muted or something. And a good mature teacher online will say to you, yeah, you've gone past the bend. And you're like, what do you mean? It's because you, like, say it is moving your tongue back or something. Instead of going like I said, which takes some control. It's like when you start driving a car, isn't it? Like now I can like do that as a driver or slow off a little bit. But when I first started, I was like, oh, you're too hard. Everything's too hard and like that sort of thing, right? That's what it's like as a beginner. We go from 1 to 10. So with a Hona Special 20 in C, this is why I learned on an A, because the gap then is bigger. There's more grace. The reeds are slightly longer. You get me? It sounds better. Like it's high pitched, isn't it? I haven't really done any blow bending on other keys. I'm sort of going, oh, I want to go for not the hardest. There are harder ones, you E and your F. I don't even know whether people do them on them harmonicas. I don't know. But when I go, that's because I'm doing things that are quite new to me. I'm not good at them. I'm dribbling into the harmonica to a degree. Yeah. So when I'm doing, I can hear a musical thing going on there because the major scale is. Or yeah, it's the basis of a song, the major scale. So if I was just doing and not sort of being aware of the content, the context, the scale that it needs to go in, then it would just sound awful. Like when my wife was here earlier, she was like, "Whoa, high pitch, what are you doing?" sort of thing, because it just is. But for me, my understanding is it's the major scale. That's what I'm going for. There's a musical context going on. And as I said in my last video, you might not have seen it, bend, hold. 1 second today, 1 second today, tomorrow 3 seconds, next 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and you're going to get good at it. When I'm doing that, I might be exaggerating it a little bit. There is that type of movement going on. What am I blocking? It's mostly just whole 9. No, I don't mean practice, but swallow more than usual to get rid of the saliva. My cheeks are not blown out. Let me do that and see what happens. It actually did work, but I should imagine, though, that might add instability because, I don't know. It jumped to the whole step. So remember what I said? Get the bend, hold it. Get the bend, hold it. So what I'm doing there is going blow, going up to the half, and I'm going to try and stop. Instead of going blow, whatever that is, not doing it in key, but instead of going all the way, do and stop. We're talking micro movements here. Did you see this going down sort of thing? And I'm not. This is very relaxed. I'm very relaxed. Very relaxed. But let me do it without looking at you. Just let's go from 10 blow to the B. C to the B. See? A's blocked. I'm sharing the process with you. Make sure the draw reed is unblocked. And can you sort of hear it going out, going in and out? What I'm trying not to do is blow harder, because I'm trying to rely upon technique instead of force, right? And I can actually hear it in my blow there, in my breathing. There is this sort of thing going on, which suggests that there's some liquid gathering. And it's right. It's important also for me to recognize, do you know what? I'm getting a bit sick of this now. Getting a bit sick and tired. If I'm a little bit sick and tired of it, it's 7:30 in the evening. I'm tired. If I sound like I'm slurring, I probably am, because I used to take a lot of drugs, and so that towards the evening I start to go sort of thing, right? So You see, it does require, I believe, that little bit more blow, a little bit more pressure. Maybe a few weeks, months down the road when I'm even more relaxed, and also when I'm in the business of knowing how to set the harmonica. So this is probably better, like I was saying earlier, with it being slightly airy and a cheaper harmonica. I don't know. So when you're doing something like this, I would go from this isolated bending, boring, doing people's heads in, to then doing it maybe in a lick. But in this case, I'm doing a major scale, aren't I? You hear that? So I'm da, da, B, C. And that B is all over the place, by the way. I'm not thinking that's bang on, that's great, or anything like that. But I personally am really happy with that sense of achievement, productivity today with this. I'm happy with that. Right, I've just learned the major scale. Today, I've just learned the major scale from holes 7 to 10, and I've just managed to achieve, not own it for myself yet, blow bend, half step and a whole step, and play it in the scale, although it's not great. But I've got enough experience to know this is just like step one. I'm just sort of like just doing that now, because what you want to be able to do is just do that as you're walking down the street, or stood playing with a band. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that's helped somebody who is investigating this almost what seems to be an impossible task, because that's how it is feeling sometimes for people. What happens is people get comfortable and quiet. People don't like change too much. They might get good at lip blocking, puckering, and then they're introduced to tongue blocking, and then they're like, oh no, I ain't starting all over again. I'm spitting all over the place. I feel like an old dog. I ain't doing that. Yeah. Well, I've just done the same thing with lip pursing. I've just started playing some blues songs with lip pursing, playing some scales, lip pursing, and I'm the same. I'm spitting everywhere. Holes are getting blocked up. So there you go. So this video has been long enough. I hope that sort of helped somebody. You see my jaw going? There might be some of that going on. I'm going between 10 and a B and B flat there. Hmm. So do you know what? I'm quite surprised, actually. See, I haven't got home a special 20 because I gave it away. The A is blocked up, hold 10. There's another one of these things, Kong Shen, a friend sent me from America because he wasn't getting on with it. And to be honest, neither have I. I think it's quite airy. That's airy, man. But this has been all right. I'm pleasantly surprised with how this has been. It's right. The way I word it, I'll end on this, is I've created this little baby. This little baby is slightly out of control. It's a bit of a mess. But what happens is after 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 2 weeks, it starts to gain some control over it. And I've now grown it into a bigger person. And that's what I'm talking tone there. You start with the note, get the note. Yes, it might sound thin. Yes, with bends coming and going a bit, drainy cat, duck, quack, goose. People call them all sorts of things. They actually I think they call it choking, don't they? Choking the harmonica note. Don't know why. But once you've got that little thing, and that's why it's good for you to use an old keyboard, go to a charity shop, a flea market, wherever, pick up an old keyboard. And find that note, the C and the B, A, C, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, so that when you play it, you match it. Also, Richard Slay's Bending Meditation file is something like $3, and you get all the sounds of the bending. He's going unbend, bend, and he holds it for 40 seconds or so. You press play, you match it, you listen to it. Right, I've gone on too long now, so I hope that has helped somebody when it comes to analysing the whole blow bending, what is going on or what possibly is going on. It's not mystical, it's not mystery, but it depends who you're talking to about these things. The person has different takes, and all people are different. All harmonicas can be different as well. So God bless.